Hello dear fans, friends and subscribers, this is your host Ram welcoming you to your Sunday edition of the Cricket Happening Show. Uh, Today on this Cricket Happening Show, it's all about India going 1-0 in the Test series against South Africa, where the South Africans lost the match by 203 runs, chasing a total of 395 that was set up by Virat Kohli. A challenging declaration was made yesterday, as you remember, and Kohli stood by it today as India registered their third consecutive victory in the ICC World Tour Championships by having, I think it's 160 points. So that is the state. So I'll be talking about that, and we'll also have a look at some cricket news if time permits. But let's first dive into this particular match between India and South Africa. So South Africa resumed at their overnight score of 11 for 1, but one can definitely say on a fifth day pitch, as we all know, as we have all known in the past as well, that playing on a last day pitch is always very tricky. The ball can keep low, there could be a lot of changes that's happening, and today we could definitely see that, but some tremendous bowling from Mohammad Shami. Now Mohammad Shami is someone who has already made it a habit of actually bowling very well in the second innings and picking up a lot of wickets to really put the opposition into real trouble. We have seen that in the past, and today was one more exhibition of Mohammad Shami bowling superbly. Nice length, nice balls angling into the batsman, and he was hitting the timber of the South African batsman. So let's see what really happened here at the stadium in Visakhapatnam, where India went on to register a 203 runs win over the South Africans. So the story starts like this. Aiden Markram and Thinus de Bruin resumed operations. It did not take much time for Ravichandran Ashwin to send back Thinus de Bruin back to the pavilion, and that was a milestone wicket for Ravichandran Ashwin, as Ravichandran Ashwin took his 350th Test wicket, and now he has did it in the same number of tests that Muthaiya Muralidharan, the former great bowler from Sri Lanka, had done it, with both the bowlers, both great bowlers now in their own way. Muthaiya Muralidharan took 66 tests to get his 350 wickets, and Ravichandran Ashwin has done the same as well, taking the wicket number 350 in his 66 test match. Now this ball from Ravichandran Ashwin was it was a real sort of a lolly for Thinus de Bruin, and Bruin actually the ball was bowled wide. It was tossed up to the batsman, and it was Thinus de Bruin getting into the stroke there, but he actually did not cut the ball properly, and the ball took an inside edge and went down to rattle the stumps, and it was a celebratory roar from Ravichandran Ashwin as he went to his milestone of 350 wickets in Test cricket. So take a bow, Ravichandran Ashwin. After that, so that made the score 19 for 2 as Temba Bavuma walked in to join Aiden Markram. And Temba Bavuma, and this was the start of Mohammad Shami showing his bowling. So what a delivery from Mohammad Shami to get through Temba Bavuma's stumps here. The ball was a ball which probably definitely I wouldn't say full credit to Shami. The ball definitely kept low, being the final day pitch. Bavuma, before he could his bat on time, it was a well-directed sort of a Yorker delivery, which was bowled by Shami, and it went through him. It was all over. Bavuma was totally, he was just caught, trying to dig at it, but he could not even reach it. And Bavuma was gone, bowled by Mohammad Shami for naught, and South Africa were in real trouble at 20 for 3 at that stage. Aiden Markram was joined in by the South African captain, Faf du Plessis. And Aiden Markram, in the company of du Plessis, started playing his strokes. And Aiden Markram is someone who is a very nice driver through the offside. We saw some very nice strokes that he played. He also hit a 6 as well as he moved on to 39. But Mohammad Shami produced, according to me, the delivery of the day, one could say, or even I would call it the delivery of the match here. What a ball and what a wicket to get by Mohammad Shami. Mohammad Shami was leaving a lot of balls for Mohammad Shami. Faf du Plessis was actually leaving a lot of balls outside the off stump, so he knew where the off stump was, and there was very good judgment. But now comes Mohammad Shami getting a delivery where this ball has started outside the off stump, and there is a sharp movement in towards the wicket, and it came at some very good pace, and du Plessis was absolutely taken aback as actually the ball went on to rip the off stump out of the ground, and Mohammad Shami was absolutely delighted as he stretched his arms around, and India had taken the most important wicket there. Du Plessis was gone, bowled by Mohammad Shami for 13, and South Africa were in the mire at 52 for 4. At the other end, Aiden Markram was still there as Quinton de Kock walked in to join Aiden Markram. Now, this was another beautiful delivery from Mohammad Shami. De Kock was actually trying to push at the delivery, a bit of a tentativeness while doing that, and that got the worst of him here as the ball straightened after pitching and went into the off stump. So Mohammad Shami was making it a sort of regular stuff, going and hitting the timber of the South African batsman, as I said, as the wicket number 5 fell, and the South Africans were in despair at 60 for 5 as Aiden Markram was still at the wicket, and Muthuswamy, the debutant, joined him. Now, Shami had already taken 3 wickets, so he has actually done the best part for India there. And now Jadeja, what a fielder he is. I mean, you can say he's the best fielder in the world now. What a wicket of his own bowling. He made Aiden Markram hit over the top, and he could not really get it over, Jadeja said, but Jadeja was on his follow through at that stage, and he managed to grab the ball with his left hand, and Aiden Markram was walking back to the pavilion, caught and bowled Jadeja for 39 with 5 fours and 1 6. The South African score read 70 for 6, and they were now, it was just a matter of time before it was 70 for 6 and Markram went, and at the same score, Jadeja in the same over of the 4th delivery, he sent back Vernon Philander into the pavilion. As Philander tried to flick at it, the ball hit the pads of Philander, and it was gone. 3 reds, and the review was done, and Philander was walking back to the pavilion, which was a familiar sight now happening at the Visakhapatnam Stadium on the final day. 70 for 7, Vernon Philander gone, and it soon became 70 for 8 as Jadeja, actually in the same over, this was his 3rd wicket in that particular over, he sent back Keshav Maharaj into the pavilion. Absolute action replay of what happened with Vernon Philander. The ball, actually Maharaj wanted to, Keshav Maharaj, the ball was on the stumps, and it would have probably another LBW decision here with Jadeja wrapping Keshav Maharaj, LBW for naught, and now it was just a matter of time before the South African innings was going to be wound up with the tailenders at the wicket. Muthuswamy was at one end, Dan Peat had come to the other end, and the score read 70 for 8. And now it was just a matter of a formality as to when India will be winning this particular test match. But let me tell you, Muthuswamy and Dan Peat had other ideas. Dan Peat decided that the best way to tackle the Indian bowlers was to really start going after them. And Peat actually definitely surprised everybody with his strokes. He started playing some nice strokes in the middle, Dan Peat. And Dan Peat was the most aggressive of them, as suddenly the partnership from 70 for 8 started blossoming. And Muthuswamy, on the other hand, was the most compact self, allowing Dan Peat to actually get him play his strokes. So Dan Peat went on striking boundaries, and he was striking it very well. He was really taking on the spinners as well, and especially the spinners, he was really willing to really go full throttle at them with his bat. As Dan Peat went on to make 56, as the scoring went on, suddenly it was not, I mean, nothing was to worry about. Probably the things would have been that, South Africa might probably try to save the match, but that was not to be. But really, definitely a very good effort, I thought, from Dan Peat and Muthuswamy to get the score from 70 for 8 to 161, showing a lot of determination, which was very good to see, and not tamely surrendering, which was the best part of it. And India would have been definitely surprised by this partnership. Yes, they were. And it was a 91-run partnership that happened between Dan Peat and Muthuswamy. But then Dan Peat was then Mohammad Shami was back into his spell, and Mohammad Shami, as you know, he had made it a habit of hitting the timber every time he has bowled, and this was another one of those, and this was an important wicket, as Peat wanted to drive Shami there, but he basically was driving away from the body, and the ball took the inside edge, and once again one could hear the rattle of the timber, and it was Mohammad Shami, the bowler, as Dan Peat walks back to the pavilion. But after making a good contribution, a fighting contribution, one could say, bowled by Mohammad Shami for 56 with 9 fours and 1 6. And now the score read 161 for 9 as Kagiso Rabada walked in. Muthuswamy was at the crease, and Muthuswamy, as I said, was his compact self. He was trying to rein himself in when Peat was at the wicket. But then finally the death knell was sounded for South Africa with Kagiso Rabada after making 18 with 3 fours and 1 6, an aggressive 18 at that. Once again Shami was into the picture, but this time for a change he had him caught behind and he did not hit the stumps, as Riddhiman Saha behind the stumps made no mistake of this delivery, and Rabada once went for a booming drive, healthy edge, and it was pouched by Riddhiman Saha behind the stumps, as Kagiso Rabada was gone for 18 with 3 fours and 1 6, leaving Muthuswamy not able to get his maiden 50 on debut. But definitely Muthuswamy showed that he is a very, very useful all-rounder with his batting skills. Muthuswamy remained not out on 49 with 5 fours as the South African innings came to a close. There was a lot of jubilation. Being a public holiday in India on a Sunday, there was a tremendous jubilation. There was a real crowd assembled, and they enjoyed every bit of it as India went on to a crushing victory of 203 runs against the South Africans. And the South Africans were bowled out for 191. Now, the bowling, if you look at it, Mohammad Shami, who took 4, as I said, was regularly hitting the timber. He hit the South African batting order 4 times. He hit the timber, and the 5th time, as I said, the final wicket was caught behind. Splendid bowling from Mohammad Shami. 10.5 overs, 2 maidens, 35 runs and 5 wickets. A splendid spell, ably supported by the spinner Ravindra Jadeja. 25 overs, 6 maidens, 87 runs and 4 wickets. And Ravichandran Ashwin, 20 overs, 5 maidens, 1 for 44. It was good to see the spin twins back in action in test matches, Ravichandran Ashwin and Ravindra Jadeja. Ishan Sharma, 7 overs, 2 maidens, none for 18. And Rohit Sharma bowled a solitary over, 3 runs. And there was absolutely no doubt that Rohit Sharma, for his great exploits with the bat, hitting twin centuries in the test match, was named man of the match. So that was the report on the final day of the first test match between India and South Africa, where India won the first test match against South Africa by 203 runs and gone 1-0 in the series. So well done India, taking 40 points in the ICC Test Championship, so that was the end of the first test match. Now we'll have a look at some cricket news pretty quickly. Just before I wrap up this cricket show, just having a peek at it. As I said yesterday, Guyana Amazon Warriors in the Caribbean Premier League 2019 are on the crest of a winning wave here. They have been winning. They have won. They already made it a perfect 10 with having won 10 matches out of in this Caribbean Premier League 2019. And I'm just going to see. Yes, we are talking about, I think I might be in a position to do a small preview. I'm just trying to see here whether the match between Sri Lanka and Pakistan, yes, Sri Lanka and Pakistan are coming on to the second T20. As you know, the Pakistan suffered a rare defeat at the hands of the Sri Lankans yesterday, and now it's the Sri Lankans. I mean, Pakistan would have definitely known what mistakes they would have made in the first T20. So the focus shifts on to the second T20 match, which is coming up at the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore, where Pakistan take on the Sri Lankans. And definitely Sri Lankans should be walking in to make sure that they tomorrow win this particular match against the Pakistanis to make it go and win the T20 series. But whether that is going to be possible, that is something only time will tell the story. But we know that Pakistan are going to come back really hard on the Sri Lankans this time, for sure, because they know where they made the mistakes. I had a feeling that probably the Pakistan. I mean, there was also another thing that one would have noted yesterday, that Fakhar Zaman, who is a consistent opener, who is a regular opener for Pakistan, and is tailor-made for T20 cricket, was dropped in preference to Ahmed Shahzad. So that was probably, I mean, I have a strong feeling, or I should say that Pakistan now are in a bit of a threat, and I won't be surprised if Fakhar Zaman makes it to the Pakistan team with Ahmed Shahzad failing in the first match on his comeback. And also Umar Akmal also collected a golden ball duck. And let's talk about Haris Sohail. We know that Haris Sohail is a very attractive player to watch, and besides he's another real talent from Pakistan after Babar Azam, according to me. And it was really sad to see that Haris Sohail was not playing and Umar Akmal was given preference. Whether they would be tempted, I would probably prefer Haris Sohail to take the place of Umar Akmal, especially considering the fact that it is a must-win game for Pakistan tomorrow. If they lose this match, Sri Lanka take the T20 series 2-0. So, and for Sri Lanka, well, I have nothing to say, because they are on a, they have already won the first T20, so they are walking into the ground tomorrow at the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore with utmost confidence, and they would be super confident, according to me. The reason being that they are having a second string team here. Besides, as I've already told you, the Sri Lanka have to play some qualifying matches to actually qualify for the T20 World Cup in Australia, and keeping that in view, to actually go and win against Pakistan was quite an achievement. So whether Pakistan would be in a position to stop them tomorrow, or whether Sri Lanka once again continue the winning habit and go on to win the T20 series is left to question, as we will know when the both clash tomorrow in the second T20 match at the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore. This being said, this is your host Ram bringing an end to this cricket happenings today by bidding you all goodbye. Thank you.